Well, here we are again. Thank you for joining me. This is Shamanic Heartspace. My name is Nancy. Happy birthday to all you Virgos. Can you believe that it's come round already? So, as I said, this is Shamanic Heartspace. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Virgo New Moon that is coming up in and around the 14th or 15th of September 2023, depending on where you are in the world. So before we jump in, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came to the Patreon full moon ceremony for the Pisces blue supermoon. It was really, really special. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who is subscribing at the moment. Without you, there would be no podcast and all the rest of it. So thank you so much for your support and for being here. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope that you find this content useful. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I read the energy for the collective, so probably not everything is going to be a fit. So just see what comes through for you as well. As you tune in here to this podcast and tune into my frequency, it's likely that you'll be able to tap into your own gifts more as well. We kind of all feed off each other in that way. Positive energy breeds for positive energy and vice versa. So it's not uncommon for people to have breakthroughs while listening to my podcast and things such as this. So I hope you find it helpful. I want to start by really asking you how you are. How are you? That blue moon and the Venus retrograde and all the things that were going on were really massive. I'm not an astrologer, but you don't need to be an astrologer to have felt what has been happening lately. Most of you know I live out here in the Amazon. I'm pretty cut off from news and all that sort of stuff. Not that I'd be tuning into it even if I could, but I'm not sure what's going on in the world. But certainly on a personal level, it just felt like a lot. Nothing terrible's been happening, but just energy-wise, it's just felt fast and heavy and a lot. And so I hope that you're doing okay. So it's by now, it's likely that you're going to be feeling ready for new intentions. I'm just checking in with the channel here. So yeah, take some nice deep breaths with me if you want to. This is how I connect with the energy that I read. So there used to be an obvious divide between this world, Earth, the 3D, and the other stuff on the other side of the veil. You might want to call it spirituality or whatever you want to call it, but the veil's very thin now, it's very fluid, and so I don't have to try so hard to connect in with that energy. Let me know if you're finding that as well. So yeah, usually I start channeling by saying, okay, take some deep breaths and do some grounding, but now it just comes like I've just received a text message or something. I just want to ground myself a little bit more, and I invite you to join me. I tend to yawn while I'm channeling as well. Yeah, so this is the first message. It's likely that you're going to feel ready now for setting new intentions. There's been a lot of time to ruminate and consider. The energy was focused on this as well before, leading up to this Virgo New Moon. To ruminate and consider like what you want, what's important to you. And the Mercury retrograde in Virgo has certainly slowed things down to an absolute standstill in some cases. So yeah, if you've been able to go with the flow of all of that, that's amazing and good for you. Like a lot of my clients that I work with online, we had issues with the internet at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, and so thank you all for your patience with that and your understanding. And that's just a microcosm in the macro of what's been potentially going on for everybody out there. So this has really created a holding space. So as you move into the final part of the year, calendar year anyway, We can consider what's important, what we're taking with us. As this is a very regular theme recently. I feel like deja vu here, saying this again. So much cleaning and clearing going on, and you really think you've done it all, and then something else pops up out of nowhere. So this is a great time for setting new intentions and considering what you want to take action on. So more clarity is coming through. So if you haven't had that yet, it is on the way. That's likely to be for, 99% of people, especially people who are paying attention, which would be you, as you're here listening, but paying attention in general to what's kind of going on collectively, globally, universally. There's the last piece of the puzzle now that's falling into place. And that feels like a relief, that feels like a burden lifted. So the message that's coming here is to plan well, and the Virgo energy will help with that. But get your ducks in a row, plan well for what you want to see, what you want to bring into your life, because things are going to move fast. You think, wow, they've been moving fast anyway. Between now and the end of the year, it's like going to be the blink of an eye. We've got eclipses, we've got equinoxes, we've got all sorts of things happening. And yeah, it's going to be fast. Let me just put it that way. The image that I'm being shown on the channel is like a cartoon on a movie screen being fast forwarded. So any lack of clarity will lift. So that feeling of not seeing the wood for the trees, you'll be able to see where you are and feel into where you are and be decisive in that. It's very divine feminine warrior energy that's coming through. I'm seeing like the Diana, the huntress, I think that's her name, who I'm seeing anyway. So maybe you really went over some details recently. That's what the energy intended for you, and that's going to hold you in good stead. So if you felt quite stuck and going over stuff in your head and a bit of anger and a bit of that frustrated energy, don't know which way to go, don't know what to do, things aren't working out as you wanted, well, now we're starting to see progress. Hooray! So there could be a little bit of restlessness. Yeah, so I guess this as well is to do with the harvest. I mean, depending on which hemisphere you're in the world, the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere, the September equinox in the northern hemisphere, points to that, reaping what you've sown and moving forward, the abundance of the harvest. Okay, so I'm clairvisual and clairaudient, clairsentient. I'm getting a lot of tension around the back of the neck and the shoulders here. I'm walking around as I'm doing this channel, so this is all telling me there could still be some restlessness within you, that kind of tension from overthinking, restlessness in the body, so that energy needs to move. So the advice that would come with this is moving the body, the yoga, the dancing, the getting out in nature, moving the body. That energy has to go somewhere. And also, yeah, I'm feeling it, and you can probably hear it in my voice actually. It feels like anxiety in the chest, in the heart chakra. I'm just going to breathe that out because it's not mine. So this feeling of restlessness can be confused for anxiety. It's telling the body essentially that you feel anxious in some cases, but it's not actually really anxiety. It's just a feeling that you're ready to move after hold up. So you're waiting, a bit like the horse waiting to bolt out of the, what do you call it, out of the gates, out the stable, I don't know, after it's been held up. So you're ready to move, but this could feel like anxiety, and a lot of people in the Western world especially have got very used to anxiety, and so anything that feels remotely like that will be labelled as such. But anxiety and excitement are very similar beasts. So you can remind yourself, if you're getting into that sort of anxious state, just hold on, take some deep breaths, ground. Maybe I'm just feeling excited because all of this great stuff is coming my way. Okay, so don't confuse the two. Yeah, that retrograde really has, well, I want to say held things up. It hasn't held things up because everything is as it's supposed to be. But I think for a lot of people, it really felt like, come on, I'm ready to birth this, whatever it is, or I'm ready to understand the next thing. But, you know, nothing is happening to you. It's happening for you. And it's great that you've got that, possibly got that feeling of, yeah, running with it, going for it, okay? These new possibilities are springing through. So I'm getting the image of like literally seeds coming through, fertility, fertile ground. So yeah, I mean, no surprises as well, because the equinox in the southern hemisphere where I currently am, we're moving into spring. So these two energies are being held simultaneously. They're not entirely different, you know what I mean? So this is a really great sign, because it's all pointing to abundance, and what you've wanted is going to happen. So be ready. Be ready, because sometimes we get what we've wanted for a long time and we don't know what to do with it. I'm seeing somebody holding a hot potato and not being able to hold it, just chucking it from one hand to the other now. Okay. So I've just had a message to say, you holding on in there was great. Waiting for whatever it is to come through, like, well done that you waited, that you saw it through. Deep down you knew it was going to be okay, and that is great progress. So that feels and sounds like it's a very specific message, right? But this is really about you know, look at you, trusting the process, rolling with the punches. So yeah, this could be something that you've really been waiting for, showing you, showing up. Sorry, there's lots of different things coming through at once. My filtration system in my mind is on overload right now. So yeah, I feel like this is a great progress for a lot of people out there, because trusting the process is a very big step on this path, because we're really conditioned, and our most recent ancestors onwards have been conditioned to not trust the process, not trust the higher powers, to try and control everything and get everything exactly how we want it, and to just let go and surrender and just say, well, it's going to turn out how it's going to turn out, and I'm going to be okay with that. That is a huge step on this path. So well done. Please don't underestimate how big that step is. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to hear about what's showing up for all of you listening. I always love to hear what my listeners are going through. Thank you all for your amazing emails and posts telling me about what's going on. And you know, sometimes when you ask me for help, I do my best to help, but the answers are all in you. I'm really interested to see, because often there are a lot of similarities in what people are saying to me. So yeah, if you've got the time, let me know what's showing up for you that you've been waiting for a long time. Look here, what's this? I'm just trying to understand this image. It's about surrendering. I've just talked about that. So yeah, maybe there's still a way to go, more surrender for some people. Another layer of throwing your hands up and saying, okay, I'm not fighting anymore. So the ego wants to control, wants to hold on even to the tiniest little grain of whatever it can understand. And you know, we have to really let that go. It's a constant test. It's a constant test because we're human, and you cannot be human without an ego. It's an and energy that's part of our makeup. So yeah, just keep on letting go. Try not to give any energy to that. Oh, okay, so this is pointing towards maybe there's something you've given a lot of energy and attention to, you've invested a lot in, and so you don't want to say, you know, it's kind of like, well, I'm not giving up now, I've come this far. And this might well be the thing that's come to teach you yet another lesson in surrender. So even though you've given a lot of time and energy and investment to something, it might be time to say, okay, I can't, I'm not gonna, I don't know, win this, so I'm just going to invest my energy in something more fruitful. And any grieving that needs to take place, just allow that to move through you, and you know, move on to something else. That energy, that time, that investment, that was not wasted. Even if you think it seems like it's wasted and you're like walking away, it's only so that something better can come. All right, so I'm getting the sensation and the visual of a power surge, like whoosh, like a power cut, then a power surge. It's interesting that that's the visual they're giving me, because we've had nothing but power cuts and power surges recently. So yeah, on a metaphorical level, maybe I'm going to call it a setback, comes up, and maybe something's really looking like it's going to go one way, and the last minute the Hyoka comes and takes you off in another direction. The Hyoka being the divine trickster. So after this, something bigger, better comes, more empowering. And the question is, are you ready? Because sometimes our wildest dreams come true and we're like, gosh, I'm not ready, and I'm scared, and I can't, and I didn't know this would mean 100,000 people are going to follow me, and da 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 da, you know. So stepping into those grown-up shoes. So any preparation you need to do around self-care, self-love, self-confidence, empowerment, do that so you're ready to roll when suddenly you're in that league that you knew would come one day, but you didn't know it was going to be now, or you didn't really believe in it. Yeah? All right. I'm looking at routines here. I'm seeing a schedule. Okay, so if your routines are not in order and responsible, get your act together. So this means what's going, what's staying, what's being added to your routines, your agenda, your bag, your being, what is coming with you, what are you leaving behind. This is really important, and I know I've said it before recently, I don't know when exactly, but this is really important. And of course, you've got Virgo energy, which is big on being organised and all of that. The shadow side being overwork, over planning. Please don't do that. You don't need to plan everything down to the nth degree, I think the saying is. But it's good to have some kind of idea, but be flexible, because things can and they will change. All right, but yeah, around the routines, this is in particular daily routines. I think this is probably because things are going to get fast and things might feel a bit complicated and a bit chaotic between now and the end of the calendar year. So if you have your routines in order, you have your anchor, you have your safe space. If you know that every morning you're going to get up at 5 and you're going to do your yoga and your practice and your study and whatever you're going to do before the day even starts, and this is what you're going to do at the end of the day before you go to bed so you get a good night's sleep, etc., then you are going to, that's going to hold you in good stead moving forward. Yeah? So, get your practices together. I'm thinking at the same time, because I'm thinking of offering something similar to create personalized practices for people, shamanic practices, going forward. So maybe this is a calling I need to step into because I've been putting it off. But anyway, if I decide to add that to my bag of tricks, check out the newsletter because it will be in there. All right, so now some people are going to fall victim to victim mode. I can't think of a better way to say it. So please try not to fall into that. So that's another ego trap, dragging you back, telling you can't do this or whatever it is. So yeah, it's that other side of ego, not the puffed up arrogant side, but the can't do it, not good enough side. So keep that solar plexus nice and clean and shiny and strong with your practices. And yeah, try not to listen to that voice. Do what you need to do to calm that voice. And don't need to fight it either, but this is about accepting that part and seeing if you can send it love. Yes, I hear you. Thank you for showing me that I have self-doubt in this area. Now, what can I learn from it and what can I do to improve on that? Of course, you can always reach out to me. I've got some availability throughout September, not in October, but you can reach out if you need a bit of a hand with that from me. Yep, so with that, it's taking responsibility for your energy levels. So probably with things speeding up, all of that, you know, stop self-sacrificing, stop wasting energy, stop getting the erratic bedtimes. Check in with the body. How's your body doing? How's your health doing? Have you been putting off starting that, I don't know, yoga, walk, exercise thing? A lot going on here with the bodies. I think because the energy is shifting so massively, it's hard on the physical body. And so we've got to keep everything moving. What we're putting into our bodies is just as important. So this is, again, building that into your routines. Probably the last thing you want to do is when you get up in the morning. Maybe some people, I don't know, but maybe you don't feel like exercising. Maybe you're tired. It doesn't have to be hardcore. You know, there's plenty of things you can do just to move the body and be in the body. We've got to take responsibility for where our energy's going as well. So there's, I guess, the potential here for a lot of energy draining happening. So a lot of people are going to fall into victim, fall into fear. That does not have to be you. And also, you don't have to save the world. You can lead by example. Okay, so I'm going to leave this episode here. If you'd like to hear more, check out the subscription options. If you would like to join me for New Moon ceremony in Virgo, it will be on the 14th of September. You can get a free trial on Patreon at the moment. If you want to come and check that out, I'd be delighted to have you over there. I just hope that you're doing well. I hope that you find this channeling helpful. I do know there's a lot going on. There's a lot of tensions and emotions and all sorts going on. Lots of change going on. But it's because people are finding their feet. People are waking up. So just leaning into self-love and compassion for the self and others. And what's really important is authenticity, following your heart. Transitions like this, yeah, they don't come around very often. And there's this huge awakening with gifts, and it's a lot. You feel like you're totally losing your mind sometimes, but you're not, and you're in the right place. So if you need any help and support, do reach out to me, shamanicheartspace.org. I've got plenty of ways that I can help you out. I will be heading over to Europe in a couple of months, so please make sure you are on the mailing list. You can also join the text list on Telegram. I try to keep up with that, but I'm not brilliant. I've also got blogs about all sorts of things, plant medicines and planets. I work with plants and planets mainly. So yeah, just fill your boots. I've got plenty of stuff for you to read and take advantage of if you're looking to find out more about all of that sort of stuff. But just remember, all the answers are inside you already, and you are enough, and you are where you're meant to be. And no matter how crazy and whatever it might seem on the outside, you're exactly where you're meant to be. So thank you so much once more for joining me, and it would be lovely to have you over on the subscribers list for extra content and extra ways to cope with everything that's going on. I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. I'm Nancy, and this has been Shamanic Heartspace. See you later.